What if your father snatched you from your mother's arms as the train pulled away? What if you spent 50 years believing she never wanted you? What if the truth was the opposite? This is the story of a brotherhood lost and found. Welcome to Reunion Archives. The year was 1972. A young mother stood on a train platform in northern England. In her arms, she held her baby boy. He was only 10 weeks old. Her name was Margaret. She was young, alone, and terrified. She had been told she was unfit to raise her children. Her family had turned against her. She had nowhere to go. That day, she was leaving. She was taking her baby to start a new life somewhere far away. She held him tight, but someone else had arrived at the station that day. Her estranged husband, Arthur. He had been watching, waiting. As the train began to move, Arthur lunged forward. In one swift motion, he grabbed the baby from Margaret's arms. She screamed. She tried to hold on, but the train was already pulling away. Margaret fell to her knees on the platform, empty-armed, watching her baby disappear. She never saw him again. For the rest of her life, she carried that moment like a wound. The baby's name was David. He was only 10 weeks old. He never knew his mother's face, her voice, her touch. He was given to another family, a new name, a new life. David grew up believing his mother had abandoned him. His father told him she never wanted him, that she was unfit, that she left without looking back. For decades, David accepted this story. He grew up, built a career, started his own family, but something always felt incomplete. A quiet emptiness he couldn't name. His adoptive parents were kind in their own way, but the story they told about his birth mother never sat quite right. It felt like pieces were missing. David didn't search. He told himself it didn't matter. His mother didn't want him. That was the end of it. But across England, in a small town, another life was unfolding. Margaret had never stopped thinking about her baby. She never remarried. She never had more children. She carried the guilt of that day like a stone in her chest. She believed it was her fault. If only she had held on tighter. If only she had fought harder. She didn't know where her baby was. She didn't know if he was happy or sad, healthy or sick. She didn't even know if he was still alive. Every year on his birthday, she lit a candle. She prayed for him. She whispered his name into the empty air. She never stopped loving him. Not for one single day. Decades passed. The train platform was torn down. The city changed. People grew old. But Margaret never forgot the weight of her baby in her arms. Then, in 2022, something shifted. David's wife noticed how he would get quiet sometimes, staring at nothing. She asked him what was wrong. He said, "I just wonder sometimes." She encouraged him to take a DNA test, just to see. No expectations, no pressure. He agreed. The kit arrived in the mail. He swabbed his cheek and sent it back. He didn't think much of it. He had no idea what was about to happen. Weeks passed. Then one day, his phone buzzed. An email from the DNA company. A close relative match had been found. David stared at the screen. His hands started shaking. The name on the match was Patricia. Patricia was his sister, his real sister, the one he never knew he had. They had been separated for 50 years, and now, DNA had brought them back together. When David called her, neither of them could speak for the first minute. They just listened to each other breathe. Two strangers who shared the same blood, the same history, the same mother. Patricia told him everything. About their mother Margaret, about the train station, about how their father had snatched baby David from her arms, about how she had searched for decades and never found him. David couldn't breathe. His whole life, he had believed his mother didn't want him. And now, he learned the truth. She never stopped wanting him. She never stopped loving him. She never stopped hoping. He asked Patricia, "Where is she now? Can I meet her?" There was a long pause, and then Patricia said the words that shattered his heart. "I'm so sorry, David. Mom passed away last year. She never stopped looking for you. On her deathbed, she told me, 'Find your brother. Promise me you'll find him.'" David broke down. 50 years of believing a lie. 50 years of thinking he was unwanted. And all along, his mother was searching for him, loving him, waiting for him. He learned that Margaret had carried his photograph in her wallet until the day she died. The photo was worn thin from her fingers, touching it every single day. She had contacted agencies, placed ads in newspapers, asked strangers if they had seen a boy with his eyes. She never gave up. Not for 50 years. David also learned about his other brother. There were 3 of them, 3 sons, all taken from Margaret at different times. Arthur had systematically removed each child. Patricia had been searching for both brothers for years. She found one. Now, she had found David, the youngest, the one taken from their mother's arms on a moving train. When David and Patricia finally met in person, they didn't need words. They just held each other. 2 halves of the same story. Finally together. David looked at Patricia's face and saw their mother's eyes. He saw her smile. He saw all the love he had been denied for 50 years. Patricia showed him the worn photograph. Their mother had carried a tiny baby with a tuft of dark hair. David, taken at 10 weeks old, the last photograph Margaret ever had of him. David carries that photograph now. He keeps it in his wallet, just like his mother did. He touches it sometimes and whispers, "I found you, Mum. I'm here now." Patricia is still searching for their 3rd brother. She believes he is out there somewhere. She made a promise to their mother, and she intends to keep it. David says, "I spent 50 years believing I wasn't wanted. Now, the truth. I was wanted every single day. I was loved every single day. I just didn't know it." He also met his other brother, the one Patricia had already found. 3 brothers, separated by cruelty, reunited by love and DNA. Margaret's children, finally together, on what would have been their mother's birthday. The 3 brothers gathered at her grave. They brought flowers. They brought photographs. They brought 50 years of stories they never got to share with her. David knelt by the headstone and traced her name. He said, "I'm here, Mom. I finally found you. I hope you're proud of me." A soft wind blew through the cemetery. Patricia touched his shoulder. "She is," she said. "She always was." 3 brothers, 1 mother who never stopped loving, a promise kept beyond the grave, and a train platform that changed everything. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe to Reunion Archives for more emotional reunions, and let us know in the comments. What would you say to someone you haven't seen in 50 years? Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next story.